There are countless point of views to see a specific situation, to analyze a particular behavior, and to understand something at a deeper level. But mainly there are only two, the practical viewpoint and the transcendental viewpoint. In the language of philosophy of Jainism, we call them the Vyavhar Nai and Nishchay Nai. Vyavhar Nai is the practical viewpoint and Nishchay Nai is the transcendental viewpoint. Whereas the practical viewpoint deals with the subjective experiences of people, the transcendental viewpoint is that which is objective, real, and exists irrespective of the person's circumstances or understanding. Hi friends, Namaskar. Welcome to MJ Talks, and today we are going to talk about these two viewpoints and how we can live our lives in a better way with the help of these little but profound gems from the Indian philosophy of Jainism. Vyavhar Nai is also known as the lower level of truth or the empirical perspective, that viewpoint which takes cognizance of the character of a specific thing as it is understood by common people. For example, the big black bee is black or the apple is red. Within the ambit of the practical viewpoint lies the relationships between cause and effect. So, whatever we do in life, whatever the worldly affairs we have, whatever is there, be it relationships, be it our education, be it studying, be it whatever, our day-to-day situations, circumstances, our dealing with people, it all lies under the circle of Vyavhar Naya or the practical viewpoint. Whereas in the transcendental viewpoint, which is also known as the higher level of truth, every object is seen in its intrinsic form. There is neither cause nor effect, no creator, no creation. Whatever exists in its intrinsic form, which is untouched, unbound, beyond touch and taste. For example, time and consciousness. The transcendental viewpoint is highly philosophical, you can understand that. I have prepared a list of four topics to compare these two, and I am going to explain the 4 points on board. So let's go towards the board. Hi friends, I have prepared this board to explain the practical viewpoint and the transcendental viewpoint. The first point we can consider is the cause and effect. The practical viewpoint can be understood through cause and effect. Whatever we do in our lives is caught in the cycle of cause and effect. For example, thirst becomes the cause, effect of which is that one grabs a bottle of water and drink. Intake of water acts as the cause of the need to pee after a certain time as an effect. Emptying of bladder again become the cause of thirst, and so on. Another example I am giving, I think of mowing the messy lawn, for example. This thought becomes the cause, the effect of which is the clean, tidy and mowed lawn after some time, and so on, due to my efforts, right? So when we talk about the transcendental viewpoint, it is beyond the ambit of cause and effect. The transcendental viewpoint is beyond the boundaries of cause and effect, and it simply exists and mainly deals with the bigger philosophical questions. For example, we all have some queries which we cannot answer. Like, we all seek for them, but nobody knows the answer. Every philosopher, every scholar try to peep into them. These are about our existence. For example, it becomes really difficult to understand cause and effect when we ask ourselves questions related to our existence. Why are we here? What is the purpose of our existence? Birth is all right, but why do we die? Is death end of our existence? Etc. The second point I have taken to explain the practical viewpoint or Vyavhar Nai is that it comes under logic. Like this viewpoint comes under the vicinity of logic and can be proved by experiments and can be understood by formulas or through explanations. For example, if I want to find out the distance from Delhi to Gurgaon, I can easily do so through Google or easily by going there through my car and measuring the distance. Or if I want to check the temperature of Seattle at present at a specific time, that can also be done. So these are all the things of practical viewpoints. When I come to the transcendental viewpoint, it is the best thing to describe it that it is beyond the use of our senses. It is the matter of self-experience. It is beyond the sensitive perception and mind. This is a subject matter of direct experience. The transcendental viewpoint is the subject matter of direct experience, and no one can explain it with the help of words. It is beyond the boundaries of language and sensory perception and mind. For example, self-realization. Many of us have gone through some awakening in life which cannot be described with the help of words, no matter how hard we try. More general example can be, suppose I have migraine. So I experience it and I know the intensity of pain whenever I go through the same. But it is by any means, I cannot explain it to someone with the person, to the person who has never had migraine. So this is a matter of self-experience. So whatever we do in life, we can easily say that there are more experiences we gain which we cannot explain to anybody, be it our children, be it somebody else, or be it anybody. Yeah. So the third point I have taken to explain the practical viewpoint is that all worldly affairs are the subject matter of it. So whatever we do in the world, we live, we study, we bind ourselves in different relationships, we do business dealings, etc. All can be understood through the practical viewpoint. Whereas when we come to the real viewpoint, it is transcendental in nature. It talks about the pure and eternal consciousness. So through the real viewpoint, each conscious being, be it you, me, that tree I can see out of the window, my dog, each living being is the manifestation of that pure, eternal, all-knowledgeable consciousness, which is not only one of the 6 substances that constitute the universe according to the Indian philosophy of Jainism, but also the only one with the attribute of consciousness. So coming to the fourth point of practical viewpoint, the time as we know the time, it comes under the vicinity of the practical viewpoint. For example, the time as we understand is the practical time. And if we talk about the transcendental viewpoint, it is, as writer Eckhart Tolle mentions in his book The Power of Now, it is neither the past nor the future, it is the now, the present moment. So we bind the practical time in the units of seconds, minutes, hours, and so on. Whereas we all know that if we bind time in any unit or not, it still exists. So the transcendental time exists as the present moment only, which author Eckhart Tolle mentions as the now. So these are the 4 points I tried to make clear. Hope you all have understood it. So friends, the practical viewpoint is required to live our lives. Definitely, we cannot live our lives through philosophy, but we can definitely peep into philosophy to have a better understanding of whatever happens in life happens for a reason. So the practical viewpoint is required to live our lives for sure. It can be right as well as wrong. We need help of words to express it. It is material in nature, whereas the real viewpoint is subject of understanding, of direct experience. It is beyond the realm of right or wrong, that is, it is transcendental in nature. It can only be known by self-experience. For example, through practical viewpoint, in our business dealings, we talk about your money and my money, right? But whereas in reality or through real viewpoint, we all know that neither the money is yours nor mine. So these are the worldly examples of practical viewpoint and transcendental viewpoint. Like whenever Modi ji travels to abroad for anything in favor of the nations to do. So we always talk about that Modi ji has gone abroad. No one talks about the people, the team, about his team. So there is only one Modi ji, and through practical viewpoint, we talk about that Modi ji has gone, but through real viewpoint we all know that Modi ji is only one and he is the only prime minister our nation has right now. So friends, in the journey of life, all of us are traveling from the practical viewpoint to the transcendental viewpoint. So live your life fully, zealously and positively, considering that all the ups and downs of life are the practical aspects and not the real ones. In reality, we are much bigger, much higher and unbreakable. Wish you all a very happy new year 2021 through the practical viewpoint. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care.